Today is a very special show for us. We're going to take you inside the Prince George Cemetery to recognize some soldiers that gave the ultimate sacrifice, folks that actually have Commonwealth headstones as well to mark their contributions to our country, to freedom. We're going to tell their story today. We're going to stop by Westside Academy and get some kids who have made some very special poems and catch up with the community band who will be playing tomorrow at Remembrance Day inside the Civic Center. All that and more coming up on CKPG Today. When you come here to the cemetery in Prince George, you might notice this monument. This is to recognize veterans who have given the ultimate sacrifice, gone and served our country, protected our freedoms. And we're trying to recognize a couple of those veterans today and tell their stories with a local historian, Marlo Mahoney, who we're going to talk with here at the cemetery. Now we stumble upon a grave here in the cemetery here in Prince George that you probably don't know enough about. You probably deserve to know a lot more about this guy here with Marlo Mahoney, who is going to talk to us today about this. Good to see you again.
Thank you, Caden.
Yeah.
So thank you so much for inviting me back to talk about this very important part of our history.
Yeah.
Part of what I do as a local historian is I've been researching the men from Prince George who fought in the First World War, and this is one of them. This is Peter Demeray, and he came to the region as a miner and then decided to settle and become a farmer. He got married. His wife's name was Ethel. And when the First World War happened, he decided to enlist. And so he did some of his training down in Vernon and then traveled over to Europe. And unfortunately for Peter, on the trip over, he got food poisoning.
Oh boy, that would not be very good.
Yeah, he ate some bad salmon.
Really? Documented that clearly?
Yes, that clearly. And he ended up in the hospital on board the ship and then spent about 2 weeks in the hospital in England.
Wow.
So it was a pretty severe case. Eventually, he was sent over to France to fight with the Canadians there. And he was involved in battles around the city of Ypres, where the first gas attacks happened.
Yeah, that's a historic one.
And unfortunately for Peter, while they were doing mop-up duties and protecting against German counterattacks, he was involved in an artillery attack.
Oh my goodness. So just when you think it's over, it's not over.
Yeah, and he wasn't killed, but he was pretty severely wounded. He ended up with a piece of shrapnel in his back, and it broke his upper bone in his arm.
Oh my goodness.
It actually broke it off in his shoulder socket. After his shoulder injury, he spent months in the hospital. He was reattached to another unit which stayed in Britain because he couldn't lift his arm above shoulder height.
Yeah, no.
But they kept him in to take care of him, and he did come back home. He was discharged in 1919, came back home to the farm, and he reacquainted with his wife.
Wow.
And unfortunately, his shoulder just never healed.
Never came back the same.
And he started to experience heart issues because the infection had actually migrated to his heart muscle. And he was having little heart attacks.
Oh, wow.
And
At the age of, like, he's in his 30s. Here.
He is. And unfortunately, one day when he was out in his field, he had a massive heart attack.
Wow.
And he passed away. Peter left behind his beloved wife, Ethel, and 8 children.
8 children?
So he had a number of children before he went overseas.
Oh my goodness. Wow.
Yeah.
So Peter here, we're looking at the headstone as well. And this is something that you won't see. There's only one other spot in the cemetery here that you will see this. And talk to me a little bit about the significance because, yeah, like I said, and like you were saying before we started rolling, it's a special one to get.
It is. So this is a Commonwealth War Graves headstone. It is the same that you would see over in Europe, in the cemeteries from the war. And Peter has this special headstone because he actually returned home.
Now it's time to talk about Private Joseph Kerr, who you will also find here in the Prince George Cemetery. And Marlo, this is an interesting story. Another young man taken far too soon, 32 years old, this is what his gravestone says. But he has his Commonwealth gravestone as well, which is significant because it's only one of two here, like we were saying. But what can you tell me about Joseph Kerr?
So Joseph came from Ireland. He was a fiery redhead who had a bit of a temper on him. There are records that indicate that he didn't like following orders too much.
Interesting.
And had some discipline problems, but he managed to figure it out. And he was sent to France in 1916.
Oh, wow.
In the summer of 1917, he was involved in a battle where he was wounded by shrapnel as well. And
this is a common thing for lots of soldiers in World War I, right?
Definitely.
Lots of that kind of stuff.
Yeah. Joseph also was wounded later on that summer as well. So pretty much within weeks of being put back in the line, he was hit with more shrapnel.
Oh.
And this time it got into his back.
Oh, no.
And he was admitted to the hospital, had to have multiple surgeries to remove shrapnel.
And in Joseph Kerr's story, there's not many details on kind of what happens from there, right? Or is there?
No, not really. We know that he returns from the war.
Okay.
And comes back to Prince George.
Obviously made it, yeah.
Yep. He was a minor before the war. So, I mean, he was here.
Yep.
He returned here.
Just puts it all in perspective, really. Like, these are young guys of my age, enlisting, protecting the freedom that we all enjoy today. And yeah, like we mentioned at the last grave on Remembrance Day, like these are the guys that I think about and say thank you, to be honest.
Definitely.
The other thing I wanted to highlight as well for folks wondering, we're talking about Vimy Ridge, we're talking about France today, and the Legion yourself helping organize a trip over there to Europe. Tell me a little bit about that, and for folks interested, this is a trip for anyone.
This is an adult-oriented trip. Youth are invited, but with a parent or a guardian.
Yeah, of course.
And our purpose is to give people in and around Prince George the opportunity to connect with our country's past and maybe their own personal past. Because it doesn't matter where you came from in Canada, you had a family member who fought in either the First or the Second World War. And a lot of them didn't come home. So we decided to do this tour, and we start in Belgium with the First World War, where both of these men fought.
Yeah.
And then we go to Vimy Ridge, and then we go to Dieppe, which is a World War II location, and then Juno Beach.
Wow.
And we wrap up in Paris.
Wow. Thanks so much for making the time to chat today, Marlo.
Thank you.
This has been awesome. If you want to know the details, how you can get more details for yourself, sign up for the trip. We'll include it on our website, ckpgtoday.ca. Yeah, thank you, truly, for sharing. This is so important.
Thank you.
Miss an episode? That's okay, life gets busy. We get it. Or maybe you didn't miss anything, but you're here to watch that one feature again because honestly, it was that good. No judgment. Here's the good news. You can relive every moment of the CKPG Today Show whenever you want. Head over to ckpgtoday.ca, click on the Today Show tab, and voila. So grab some snacks, kick back, and binge away because let's face it, life's too short to miss out on great local TV.
Remembrance Day is coming up, of course, and a big part of that is the ceremonies inside the Prince George Conference and Civic Center, and the big part of that is also the Prince George Community Band, which we are so lucky to have in studio with us today, at least part of it. Corey and Elizabeth, thank you so much for coming in today.
Thanks for having us, Gaten.
So the Prince George Community Band, for those that don't know, of course, yeah, like I said, plays the compositions, the charts for the Remembrance Day ceremonies, a part of that inside, but you guys do a whole lot more than that. I don't know, where do you want to start on the Community Band?
Well, our season starts in September, and we rehearse every single Tuesday night, and we play 4 or 5 times a year for various crowds, and just have a lot of fun doing it.
And how many members in the community band? It's a large band, right?
Yeah, usually about 35 to 40 members. Yeah.
You're underselling. That's a lot of people.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, there's been a lot of growth in the last couple of years. So it's been really exciting.
That is awesome to hear. And of course, Remembrance Day, one of those festivities people can look forward to, or events And then Christmas time, another one we were saying, and Canada Day. So you see them out and about here or there. But Corey, for you play in this band. How long have you been playing in the band?
I've been playing in the community band since I was 17 years old.
Wow.
It's about been 20 years.
And so you've seen the growth then.
We've seen the growth, and I think one of the really great things about community band is it's not about experience, it's not about age, it's really just about a love of music and players coming together to share experiences. And I think one of the really great things, we've got a lot of young players who are maybe high school students that are a little bit more advanced that want a challenge. We've got music teachers, we've got symphony players, people who are professional players versus amateur players. So there's a space for everyone at the community band.
I love it. Elizabeth, how long have you been involved with it?
I joined in 2008.
Oh wow, so a long time
it's been a
too.
while. Yeah. Well, when I started high school, I joined up because my dad plays in the band as well. And it's been a really fun thing to kind of do together and keep in touch with my dad and all my musician colleagues. And
I like it. What instrument do you play?
I play trumpet.
Trumpet. And Corey, again, what do you play?
I play saxophone and flute.
Okay, a little mix of both, depending on the event.
Mostly play saxophone.
Okay.
But if forced, I'll play flute.
That is fair. Okay, I want to bring this back to Remembrance Day a little bit here, of course, because that is what's coming up on November 11th. You guys are going to be inside. Is it different as a community band to get to play this impactful music? I feel like it really adds to the moment inside the Civic Center. Is it special for you guys to be part of that?
I would say, there's something really special about live music, and for something like a Remembrance Day ceremony, when we're remembering and honoring veterans, I think it's just that added special touch to just recognize the importance of Remembrance Day. And I think the band is just really honored to be included and to share the joy of music on such a special occasion for our community.
Yeah, because do either of you guys have military ties, history? You do.
My first job was for the Department of National Defense.
Oh, wow.
As a music teacher.
Oh, wow.
So a lot of people don't know, but there's actually something called the Naden Band, and it's a bunch of military musicians, and they travel around, and I got to see them when I was younger, and so I've got some military ties. My brother served in the military, my father was in the Coast Guard, so supporting Remembrance Day has been something that I have done since I was 12 years old.
Wow.
I remember going to every single Remembrance Day ceremony growing up, and it's always been something that's really important. So.
That was special.
That's awesome. Not so much of a personal connection to any of the wars or anything for me, but as a trumpet player especially, there's a lot of history with trumpet playing and Remembrance Day, and so one of the charts that we're playing for Remembrance Day is Abide With Me. And it's a really cool arrangement because you've got all of this big band kind of regal things going on, and then you've got the band kind of pausing, and then the trumpet section coming out and playing your typical trumpet pieces, and then going back to the entire band, kind of a call and answer kind of thing. So it's very powerful. For sure.
Yeah, powerful to be a part of. I would encourage folks to be inside there on November 11th or outside as well. Either ceremony is good. But for folks interested in joining the community band, as well as we wrap this up, there is an opportunity to do so. You guys are still looking to grow.
Yeah, absolutely. We play at 7:30 on Tuesday nights at the Prince George Playhouse. It's a really great space to practice in. It's our new home this year, and we're all really loving playing in a big space. And really, we welcome anyone. Come try us out. Show on up and try out the band. And I think there's a ton of people out there that haven't played instruments for a really long time.
They're just looking for an opportunity.
And they're, you played in high school, you haven't dusted off the chops in a long time. It's time to pick the instrument back up and come on out to community band.
I like it. The more the merrier.
Yeah.
Thanks so much for coming in today, guys, and looking forward to hearing you guys play on Remembrance Day, of course. Special to have you inside. So thanks for stopping by our show today.
Thanks, Kaden.
Thank you very much.
Folks, welcome back to week number 2 of the Power Play Getaway here on CKPG. Your chance to win tickets for 2, a trip for 2, accommodations, the whole kit and caboodle to Vancouver, British Columbia to see some great hockey action. And how we're doing it, call the shot. So in case you haven't caught up in the contest so far, we're looking at Nicole Bateman's shot here for folks who called the shot on Friday.
She came in with a heck of a lot of speed, and she ripped it home. Oh my goodness, the captain of your Northern Capitals puts it deep. Superman Selly to boot. What a shot by Nicole Bateman. So if you guessed that she would get it in, by the way, she's 2 for 2. You guessed that she would get it in? Well, you were correct. You gain a bonus entry into that power play getaway. The more times you enter correctly, the more chance you have to win. You get a chance to do this every single day this week. Okay, now time to check up on Riley Leddington, who is, of course, a product of Quesnel, British Columbia. And he comes in here a little slow. Stick handle, pulls it back. Oh, he looks like he's going to lift it up here, folks. Is he going to complete a bit of a lacrosse move? What is he going to have in store for us? Will he score? Won't he score? Will he get stone cold by Aiden Bouchard? Well, that's for you to decide. A huge shout out to our sponsors for making this contest possible: the Rosedale on Robson, the Prince George Airport, YSS, Living Well on Ospika Boulevard, the Prince George Fruits Kings, and Interior Off-Road. Enter your guesses online now at ckpgtoday.ca.
Welcome to Westside Academy. This is one of Prince George's independent schools, and we're up here ahead of Remembrance Day because these guys have gone above and beyond when it comes to honoring our veterans, the sacrifices they've made with poems and essays. In fact, they sent someone off to a national essay contest, and they've even read the poem on Parliament Hill in Ottawa on Remembrance Day. Today we're going to talk to 3 students here who have written poems and essays of their own and honor that sacrifice and Remembrance Day here at Westside Academy.
When my grandmother told me different stories from this period of her mother's life, I thought that they were very intelligent and responsible for their age. But now I think I understand that during the war, children grow up supposedly faster, because that's what they often need to do. People were forcibly taken to work in Germany, and my great-grandmother was one of those people. She was taken there 2 days after her father died defending the homeland. It seems to me that there was no humanity at that time. My great-grandmother and her friend tried to help the captured soldiers there, and unfortunately her friend was caught and taken to the colony for giving food to their captured soldiers. She helped, for which she was close to death. When my great-grandmother managed to return home by freight train, she met her friend there. The young girl who had a beautiful large brown braid was now gray, and it was difficult to recognize her. Her stories about the colony were terrifying. People in the colony were counted every day. Every 10th person was killed. They were killed for nothing. What was all of this for? Were any of these tragedies really worth it? Life might be difficult, but it is still hard for me to understand how after the First World War, people allowed it the Second Cruel World War.
What is a soldier? We often speak of those who served our country in the wars, those who were brave, courageous, and resilient, those who wouldn't give up. But there were thousands of fighters who weren't on the battlefield. Mothers left alone with their children, fighting to stay alive, fighting so that her kids have a bright future, if any, and fighting so that those who survived the war have a life that was worth fighting for. A medic who's seen tragedy but has to go on. There's limited supplies and resources, but he has to go on so that others can. A daughter whose father left to join the fight for freedom, waiting and wishing to see her father at least once more, but not all wishes can come true. War creates soldiers, but fighters are born with the responsibility of keeping your children alive, born with the responsibility of healing others even when it pains both of you, or born with the responsibility of simply having to go on through the loss, through the pain, and through the tragedy. I don't know real tragedy only because they did. How can I sit back and write about a war that I didn't fight in? How can I try to understand what they went through when I know nothing of loss and pain? Simply, I can't. But I can remember them and their sorrow, and I can wear the flower that commemorates the fallen so that we never forget. We must fight for them because they fought for us. We must fight to ensure that their loss and hardship is not forgotten, and we must strive to not repeat deadly mistakes.
I remember 4 years ago in the summer, I visited my Oma in Germany. We went to a concentration camp. Since I was so young, I didn't fully comprehend what I was seeing, but I remember feeling upset, angry, and empty. In front of me were the shoes of victims and incinerators where the Nazis tried to burn away their crimes, and it was uncomfortable to stand in front of, but that's how the past was supposed to make you feel. If I feel that sadness decades later, I can't imagine what it felt like back then. Remnants from the past are here to make us uncomfortable and keep us accountable. Uncomfortable so that we do not become desensitized to the violence that unfolded, and keep us accountable so that we will help others in need and not repeat our actions.
Taking a look outside at our CKPG snapshot of the day, courtesy of Sandy De Silva today, who captured a recent sunset at the Prince George Airport. And yes, the airport is a beautiful spot to get those sunsets, and a great job capturing that lighting display from Sandy. It can be tricky to see, especially with the camera. Always looks better in person with the eyes, but I think Sandy did a fantastic job getting it here for us to share on the Snapshot feature. If you have a snapshot, folks, would love to see it. Snapshot@ckpg.com is our email. Hey there, got an idea or suggestion for the show? Reach out and connect through our social media or send us an email at letstalk@ckpgtoday.ca.
Northern British Columbia is full of a lot of interesting stuff, including dinosaurs. Have you heard the story of these dinosaurs up in Tumbler Ridge? Maybe you have, maybe you haven't. We're going to learn about it today. They got a lot of cool discoveries up in Tumbler Ridge. It's vastly undiscovered kind of territory. They've been doing a lot of research there this century, and there's still a lot more to discover, but here's a snippet of it today in local history.
Taking a look back in local history to 2003. Some dinosaur tracks found up in Tumbler Ridge? Yes! And these are not the only ones that they have found over the years either. A popular spot for finding that prehistoric evidence. This article talking about tracks left by a large predator and herbivore, described by paleontologists as an armored cow. Interesting. More than 200 footprints were discovered at one site near Tumbler Ridge in 2002. And yeah, like I said, a hotbed and a cool place to go and hike and look at them yourself.
I haven't done it myself, but I hear that Geopark up in Tumbler Ridge is great hiking territory, and who knows, maybe they'll even stumble across some fossils and dino bones too. Pretty cool. Anyway, we have that here in Northern British Columbia. You don't have to go very far. Well, Tumbler Ridge, I guess, it's a bit of a drive from Prince George, but really, in hindsight, really not that far. Anyways, thanks so much for watching today, folks. For sure, if you're looking to tune into our Remembrance Day coverage, we'll have that tomorrow on CKPG TV for live from the Cenotaph, from inside the Civic Center. So be sure to tune in for that if you can't make it down there in person yourself. We will have you covered here, and as well as the news special as well. Lots of great content for you to enjoy tomorrow. We'll see you for more good stuff on Wednesday, folks. Bye for now.